Hello and welcome inside McKeon Park for today's pregame show as the Harbor Hawks get ready to meet with the Bourne Braves for back-to-back nights. Austin DeCouta, Lincoln Revill here with you, and it's the MLB draft just concluding or wrapping up, and the Harbor Hawks had 7 2021 players drafted, Lincoln. That was a pretty impressive showing for the Harbor Hawks roster.
Yeah, it was. 7 players drafted, as you mentioned, Austin. I don't think... I expected, I think everybody expected some players to get drafted this season, but I don't think anybody expected that many with 7 players to get drafted. It's just been a very successful season for the Hawks.
As mentioned, the Harbor Hawks had 7 players drafted. Position players Adam Hackenberg and Mariano Ricciardi. Pitchers Hunter Dula, Andrew Baker, Jalen Nallen, Seth Halverson, and Daniel Lloyd were taken in the draft. And it really shows you that although the Harbor Hawks only have the 2 wins on the season, that doesn't necessarily reflect the talent that was on this team.
No, yeah, a lot of players coming to the Cape with a lot of talent with their colleges, and we'll really miss them this season. I know that we will, but it's good to see them be so successful and get a chance at the big show.
Tonight's game against the Bourne Braves is a rematch of last night's contest. The Harbor Hawks fell 6-3 against the Braves here at McKeon Park, but it was a game that really could have gone either way down the stretch. What do the Harbor Hawks have to do to bounce back tonight, Lincoln?
Yeah, like you mentioned, it could have gone either way. We had a chance to tie the game very late, a home run that missed just by a couple of yards that could have tied the game. But really the key to winning tonight, we had a lot of hits last night, but it was just getting those hits at the right times with runners in scoring position. So the key tonight is to get those runners in scoring position and then get hits at the right times to bring them home.
And before we get ready for first pitch, we're going to take a look at our interview that Taylor Farmer did with manager Gary Calhoun as he talks about some of the emotions he feels when his players get drafted.
Coach, 7 players on this year's team drafted. What's it mean to you to have been able to work with them and help mentor them this summer?
Well, shoot, I don't think we can claim any of the success that they've evolved from. But I'm happy for them, and if they all sign, I hope to see them on TV someday so I can say, hey, I met that guy somewhere. So, no, it's pretty cool. And the hard part dealing with it is now we're 7 less guys. But I'm happy for them.
Right. Now, I'm sure you've had many players drafted in the years that you've been coaching. Is it always a special feeling seeing your players' dreams become reality?
Yes, it is, especially in the system I was in. And then getting to be in professional baseball also, it's a lot of fun to see them. And I've had a few make it to the big leagues too, and obviously nothing that I did that created that, but they were special when we had them, and it's neat to see them make it that far.
Right. Well, thank you. Good luck tonight.
Thanks.
Here at McKeon Park, alongside Coach Calhoun, Taylor Farmer, Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Thank you very much, Taylor. First pitch in just a few moments here at McKeon Park as the Harbor Hawks get ready to do battle with the Bourne Braves. Stay tuned here for the first pitch after the national anthem. Good evening and welcome inside McKeon Park at Judy Walden Scarefile Field here in Hyannis, Massachusetts. The scene for today's matchup between the Harbor Hawks and the visiting Bourne Braves. Austin DeCouta and Lincoln Revill here with you once again for another night of Harbor Hawk baseball. Lincoln, the Hawks having a rematch tonight with the Bourne Braves. 6-3 the score last night as Bourne went on to pick up another win, their 12th of the season. What does Hyannis have to do tonight to bounce back?
Yeah, last night pitching went really well. Bats were also hitting pretty well last night. What we really need to do right now is just get those hits at those key times and bring runners in from scoring position, something that we weren't able to do a lot of last night. The
Harbor Hawks will send to the mound a left-hander, Jonas Scalero. Scalero making his first start of the season, but we have seen him before. This is not his first time on the hill this season for Hyannis. He sports a 1.29 ERA through 7 innings of work, 2 hits allowed, 1 run, 5 walks, 6 strikeouts. He's been exceptional at limiting contact against him. And let's take a look, Lincoln, quickly at the lineup for the visiting Bourne Braves. Who is in the lineup today?
Yeah, as Christian Knapczyk starts off here for the Braves tonight. Max Anderson will be in the 2-hole, followed by Dalton Rushing. Braylon Wimmer will be in the cleanup spot, batting in left field, followed by Caden Wallace and Colby Thomas out in center field. Nick Goodwin, the designated hitter, in the 7-hole, followed by Joshua Moylan, the first baseman, and Tanner Schobel will be at shortstop tonight with Jake Bennett on the mound for the Braves.
This Braves lineup last night was led by Colby Thomas, who's in the 6-hole, the center fielder. Thomas had all 6 RBI, drove in all the runs last night for Bourne. Hyannis had a couple of chances to tie that game. They were able to get a few runs across the plate, but unfortunately still fell short. Scalero's 0-1 to the leadoff man, Knapczyk. It's Christian Knapczyk. He played short last night. You'll find him at second base tonight for the Braves. The defense for the Harbor Hawks tonight. It's Ryan Proto behind the plate as the 0-2 is in the dirt. Luke Mann at third, Kyle Ball at short, Ryan Romano at second, Zane Harris at first. The outfield left to right is Mitchell Hardigan in left, Caden Rose in center, and Clark Elliott in right. The 1-2 popped up, out of play. Drifting towards the bullpen, it will get out. Scalero ahead of the leadoff man, 1-2, looking to finish off Knapczyk.
Christian Knapczyk last night ended with a 3-base night. He reached base 3 times, got a single and a double in that span, along with a walk. He also reached home 3 times, scoring 3 of the 6 runs for the Braves.
The 1-2. An off-speed pitch just misses a bit. 2-2 the count, evens up.
Beautiful pitch there coming from Scalero, just barely missing that outside corner.
Scalero gets the signs from Proto. The windup and the 2-2 is fouled off as Knapczyk stays alive once more. If you didn't catch our pregame show from today, Lincoln and I and Taylor discussed the MLB draft, which saw 7 current Harbor Hawks taken, a handful of former Harbor Hawks drafted as well, so the team roster a little bit short tonight as we await some new player arrivals as some of the guys selected were still here. The 2-2 from Scalero, breaking ball, misses high, counts full, 76 miles per hour on the bender.
Yeah, I think what we discussed during pregame was it was 5 pitchers I think got taken.
5 pitchers.
5 out of 7.
Mariano Ricciardi, the second baseman, drafted to the A's. The catcher, Adam Hackenberg, drafted by the White Sox. Hunter Dula, one of the starters drafted. Seth Halverson, Andrew Baker, Jalen Nowlin, and Daniel Lloyd rounded off.
So our starting rotation and bullpen a little bit short, but we're looking for those new players coming up soon.
The count 3-2. Fouled straight back. Good battle brewing between Knapczyk and Scalero, neither giving an inch. The 3-2. Popped foul again. That went off towards the parking lot and out of play. Knapczyk not going down easily to lead off this ball game.
We also saw a huge at-bat in last night's game for the Harbor Hawks. I think it was Dom Johnson, actually, that went over 10 pitches in his last at-bat.
Foul tip, swing and a miss. Nice pitch there by Scalero as Proto hangs on to the tip. 1 away, a big out number 1 as he retires the leadoff man, Knapczyk.
Another great breaking ball by Scalero and a great first out to start this game off for the Harbor Hawks.
70-degree night here in Hyannis. The temperature will continue to drop a little bit. The one away, that'll bring up Max Anderson, the third baseman. He can't connect with the first pitch, 0-1. Anderson was at DH last night for the Braves. He's hitting .342 on the season. 4 RBI, no homers, a .390 on base percentage. There's a good reason he's at the top of this order in the 2 spot. 0-2, the count to Anderson.
Yeah, the big thing you want from your first 2 hitters is just the ability to get on base any way you can, and Anderson has done a great job of that so far this season.
The 0-2. In the dirt, 1-2 the count. That one's popped up. Mile high. Proto flips the mask. He'll give it a look near the press box that hits right above our heads, I think.
A little bit. Oh, man. Scared me a bit. Heads up. Thank you from above. Thank you very much.
1-2 with 1 away. Anderson stays alive against Scalero, making his first start of the season. The lefty from Florida. In the dirt, 2-2. Scalero from Florida State. Cousins with the second baseman, Ryan Romano, also from Florida State. The 2-2 to Anderson. Swing and a miss. 2 up, 2 down by Scalero, both by way of the punch-out. And he's off to a good start here in the first.
Both of those strikeouts on breaking balls is Scalero. His breaking ball has been on point so far tonight. Beautiful strikeouts for the first 2 outs of this inning.
2 up, 2 down. That'll bring up Dalton Rushing, who finds himself behind the plate at catcher tonight. Colton Bender, one of the catchers on the Braves roster, was selected by the Padres yesterday. So we'll see if Bender remains here with Bourne or what his plans are, but a big congratulations goes out to Bender. He was actually here at McKeon Park when he got that call. The dugout reacted. They have a video on their Twitter of him getting the call. He was blown away. The 0-1 is in the dirt, 1-1.
Yeah, that call actually coming, I think it was only about 5 minutes before first pitch whenever he got that call. So, you know, he was excited for the whole game last night.
The 1-1. Popped up, out of play. Count will move to 1-2.
An overcast day once again from Judy Walden Scarafile Field.
It's a normal at this point. That one's grounded softly back up the middle. Romano to his right. The throw to first is in time. 3 up, 3 down. Scalero looks good as he retires the side. We head to the bottom of the first. The Harbor Hawks coming up to bat in just a moment. Back here for the bottom of the first, Austin DeCouta and Lincoln Revill here with you in the booth as the Harbor Hawks are getting ready to take their first at-bats of the night. Let's take a look at that Harbor Hawk lineup. Caden Rose in the leadoff spot and playing center field. Clark Elliott back in the 2-hole. He'll be in right field tonight. Kyle Ball batting third and playing shortstop. Zane Harris in the cleanup spot and playing first base. Ryan Romano, the second baseman, will be batting fifth. Luke Mann, the third baseman, batting sixth. The catcher, Ryan Proto, batting seven. Dylan Post at DH tonight, another catcher, but he'll be batting eight. And Mitch Hardigan in the 9-hole and playing left field. Jake Bennett on the mound tonight for the Bourne Braves, who find themselves sitting atop the West Division at 12-2-3. Bennett on the season, making his third start, his fourth appearance. He's fired 11 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, and 10 strikeouts. The 0-1 to Rose, called strike. 0-2 the count to the Alabama infield outfielder. He's very versatile, plays multiple positions as we've seen this season.
Now, new addition to the Crimson Tide roster for the upcoming, not this season, but the next baseball season, of course. Hunter Furtado actually just signed with the Crimson Tide a couple days ago, transferring from Wake Forest.
Furtado, the Harbor Hawks left-handed pitcher. He's very, very excited to be playing there with Caden Rose in the upcoming year.
He actually just left. He actually left the team the other day, 2 days ago. Went down to Tuscaloosa, signed his contract yesterday, and then came back up, and he's back in the roster today.
Furtado will likely pitch later this week. Rose goes down swinging for out number 1, which brings up the right fielder from Michigan, Clark Elliott. He sees a first pitch bender that misses outside, 1-0 the count.
Elliott having himself a great day yesterday, 3 for 4 on the night with 3 singles, a strikeout, and he got hit by a pitch. So he reached base 4 times yesterday.
He had a great day. I mean, he said he was feeling good before the game, and it translated into the ball game as 2-0 the count to Elliott. He had a terrific season at Michigan. He was recovering from knee surgery, so he got off to a slow start. Missed about 5 months as he got ready. He started in 41 of the 43 games as he lines that one back up the middle for a base hit. Clark Elliott continues to hit in his second week here in Cape Cod.
Well, his bat has woken up as well. He had a tough first couple of games when he came, as you said, still recovering from that injury, but he's really lit it up in the past couple of games, as that is his 4th hit in the past 2 games.
Elliott got injured in the fall of 2020, was recovered about midway through the Michigan season, he said. This spring comes here, adjusts from the metal to wood bat, and he's found his groove. That brings up the shortstop, Kyle Ball. With 1 away in the inning, Ball swings at the first pitch and flies to the shallow right. Knapchick calls for it, makes the catch, and there's 2 away.
First pitch aggression coming from Ball. He swung on it, just got a little bit too far under it, as that was a pretty easy catch there for Knapchick over at second base.
2 away now, and that brings up the first baseman, Zane Harris. Harris had a single in last night's ball game. Had an RBI ground out as well and a walk. If that pitch gets away from rushing the catcher, Elliott's going to advance to second on the pass ball.
Oh, Elliott just showing off his wheels once again, and I finally got to see. I actually paid attention to him running across this time, and looking at his stride, he just has power with every step that he takes. He's just digging into the dirt and really pushing and getting it there, and you can see why he has such speed on the base path.
Zane Harris ahead in the count 1-0 against the lefty Bennett. Jake Bennett from the University of Oklahoma. That one's lined to right field by Harris. It's got some carry to it. It's going to get down. Elliott's going to come around to score from second. The Harbor Hawks are going to take a 1-0 lead on an RBI double by Zane Harris.
Well, this is a start that we really wanted for the Harbor Hawks. Harris coming in clutch with a monster double with 2 away. And the Harbor Hawks now with the lead here in the top of the first. And it's good to have some momentum instead of having to dig ourselves out of a hole early.
Back-to-back nights with a hit. Also an RBI for Harris. That'll bring up Ryan Romano as he looks to keep the inning alive here, 2 away. Romano in the 5 spot. He's been moved around the order all week. First pitch to Romano in the dirt. Won't get far enough away from rushing for Harris to advance, so he'll retreat to second base.
Harris now on second, as you mentioned. His 4th RBI on the season, bringing Elliott home for that first run.
The 1-0. Romano grounds it softly to third. Anderson, throw from the hole is in time by maybe a step. Romano is retired to end the inning. The Harbor Hawks do get one thanks to an RBI double from Zane Harris. We head to the top of the second on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Top of the second, just moments away as Braylon Wimmer digs in to lead us off. It's Wimmer, Wallace, Thomas, 4-5-6 due up for the Braves. Jonas Scalero back on the hill for his second inning of work. Austin DeCouta with Lincoln Revill in the booth. Lincoln, Harbor Hawks lead early 1-0. A good start from a team that has got behind early in a lot of ball games, but it's good to see them get ahead early.
Yeah, momentum is something that we love to have very early in the ball game. Up 1-0 after one inning of play, and just it's nice to not have to dig ourselves out of a 3 or 4 run deficit like we have a few times earlier in the season, and it's good to have a lead right now.
The count 2-0 to Wimmer. Scalero retired the first 2 batters of the game on strikeouts and got a ground out to end the first as Wimmer swings and flies that one to center field. Caden Rose settles under it and makes the catch for out number 1.
Now, Caden Rose last night out in center field had a phenomenal play in last night's game where he ended up making a throw out from center field, saving an extra run from coming in for the Braves on a massive throw, just showing off his cannon as he has a few times this season.
It was a great play. He camped under the ball and just, as you said, Lincoln, fired it home for the double play. And for a guy who is listed as a shortstop coming into the year, he's transitioned into that center field spot and been absolutely exceptional defensively all season long.
Yeah, and we've seen that arm at shortstop a couple of times where he's been deep in the gap and then he's able to just fire one with quite a bit of. I think I've seen some smoke coming off of the ball a couple of times as he just fires it over to first.
The 0-1 to Wallace is popped up into right field. Elliott moves towards the line, circles back, makes the catch. 2 up, 2 down. Scalero has retired the first 5 batters he's faced so far.
Scalero just dominating on the mound so far. As you said, retired the first 5, struck out 2 already, and he's just been amazing on the mound tonight.
And here comes Colby Thomas, the center fielder, and his bat might still be smoking from last night.
Oh, yeah, just a single shy of the cycle in last night's game.
With 6 RBI, the home run, the 3-run homer. He had a 2 RBI triple and an RBI double. And he almost had the single on a bunt. That was before the double. He wasn't trying to drop a bunt for the cycle at that point in the game.
I think something that might be a little bit more impressive to me that instead of getting the cycle, the only hit that he didn't get last night was the easiest hit to get, which was a single. I think that might be kind of just as impressive that you were able to get everything but a single shy of the cycle.
The count 1-2 to Thomas. And how about Jonas Scalero on the mound? And he's retired the first 5 batters and has Thomas ahead 1-2, going right at the guy who did some damage last night. The 1-2 swung on and missed, and Jonas Scalero is off to a brilliant start here at McKeon Park. We head to the bottom of the second, Hyannis leading 1-0. That'll bring up Ryan Proto, the catcher, one of 3 catchers on the active roster. That one's lined into right center field, pretty well hit by Proto. It's going to hang up just enough to be caught by Wallace in right field. They may have man at first, they do not. Man gets back. Oh, that ball was hit well by Proto, just hung up just for too long.
Yeah, that ball hit well. It looked like it was going to be extra bases up until the very last second. A good catch from Wallace out there, out in right field to make that grab.
Dylan Post gets the start at DH tonight for the Harbor Hawks. Caleb Pendleton was behind the plate last night. The other catcher, so we saw Proto, now Post, 2 of the 3 catchers. Pendleton behind the plate last night, and Pendleton had his first hit of the season with a 2-run home run, an absolute moonshot to left field.
Now, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is the first time this season where we've had 2 catchers in the starting lineup, one at a designated hitter spot. Is that right?
It may be. I'll have to go back and look. I don't remember another time. Doesn't mean it didn't happen, but I don't remember it.
I don't remember it either.
0-1 the count to Post. Pitch from Bennett. That misses wildly outside. Nice pick by Rushing. He's got Luke Mann doubled off. The throw to second is in time. Mann is caught leaning. He came too far off of first base on a pitch in the dirt. And Lincoln, a little change of scenery amongst the coaching staff as manager Calhoun's coaching first base this inning. I didn't notice if he was over there last inning or not.
I didn't notice that either, but I don't think he's been at first base this season. He's usually over at third. An interesting little change here. I wonder what the thought behind it was.
I'll have to ask him tomorrow or after the game. Bennett's missed a couple times inside to left-handed hitters. That one nearly got Dylan Post. 2-1 the count. 2 Dylan Post, 2 down in the inning. Mann got hit by the first pitch of the inning. He was then picked off of first base on a pitch in the dirt. 2-2 with 2 outs. That would be time for the rally hat for Lincoln, but he can't find his hat, so we're going to grab the hat of our scoreboard operator, George.
My hat is right back there. Oh, I can't reach it from here.
It'll be the lucky hat for tonight. The 2-2 with 2 away to Dylan Post. Called strike 3, so that ends the inning. The Harbor Hawks go down in order. We head to the third. Welcome back inside McKeon Park, Judy Walton Scarefile Field, the scene for tonight's matchup between the Braves and the home Harbor Hawks. Austin DeCouta, Lincoln Revill here with you in the booth as the third inning is underway with that first pitch strike there from Scalero to Goodwin.
Scalero picking up right where he left off. He's been dominant the first 2 innings, and he's starting off hot here in the third.
The 0-1 from Scalero. Called strike 0-2. Back-to-back strikes fired again from the lefty from Florida State. Nick Goodwin, the DH tonight. For the Braves, the 0-2. Soft liner to second. Romano plays it on a hop. The throw from shallow right is in time. Nice play by Scalero's cousin Romano for out number 1.
At first glance there, I thought that was going to get by for the first base hit of the game for the Braves, but a good job there from Romano being able to scuttle over to that ball and grab it for out number 1.
On the count to Joshua Moylan. Moylan, the first baseman tonight. He was not in the lineup last night. That misses. 1-1 the count. A windup and the pitch. On the hands and jammed. It's off towards the parking lot where it hits off of a car on a couple of hops, so no damage was done.
Something I haven't noticed before this season, we have a few dogs out in the crowd to add to the total crowd tonight. A couple sleeping pooches.
Another ground ball to second. Romano's throw to first is in time. Back-to-back groundouts to Romano, and he's made both plays. 8 up, 8 down, as the Braves can't seem to crack Jonas Scalero on the mound.
And Scalero just showing once again he's been dominant tonight. Another routine play for Romano over at second, and a great start to tonight's game for the Harbor Hawks.
He was phenomenal at Florida State with a 2.28 ERA. He had 1 save. Did Scalero. Struck out 26 batters in 23 and 2/3 innings pitched. 31 relief appearances. Worked in many different situations. He starts here tonight for Hyannis. 1-1 the count to the 9-hitter, Tanner Schobel. Schobel at shortstop tonight for the Braves. The 1-1. Fouled off as Schobel just got a piece of that breaking ball. Jonas Scalero's dad spent 2 seasons in the Houston Astros organization as an infielder. He was drafted in the 22nd round in 1994. 2-2 the count with 2 away. Scalero gets the signs from Proto. The 2-2 is a fastball that misses high, full count. And what an impressive start it's been so far for Scalero. He'd like to continue that. The 3-2 is lined into shallow right center field. It's going to drop for the first hit of the night for the Braves. A 2-out single will bring us back to the top of the order.
Well, I guess all good things must come to an end. The no-hitter ends for Scalero, but still a very impressive outing. Just 1 hit given up so far. 1 runner on base so far in tonight's game. So it's disappointing that the no-hitter had to come to an end, but still a very good outing for him so far.
Back to the top of the order, it's Christian Knapczyk, the second baseman. He thought about dropping a bunt, but pulled it back. The count 1-0. The count Two-nap check from the stretch. That one's lined back up the middle of the center field. Rose moves to his left, makes the catch around his knees for the third out. The Braves strand one. Hyannis still holding on to a 1-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the third on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. The bottom of the third, just moments away on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. But before we get there, a word from our sponsor, Curry College. Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, including new majors in sport and recreation management, graphic design, marketing, and computer science online at www.curry.edu. 9-1-2 due up for Hyannis. Here in the bottom of the third inning, Austin DeCouta and Lincoln Revill here with you as always in the broadcast booth. Mitch Hardigan leads us off. Lincoln, he had some amazing swings today in batting practice. Might be the best round I've seen this year from Hardigan in BP. He hit the scoreboard a couple of times. Put it off the LED part of that. The 0-1 to Hardigan. That's outside, 1-1.
If you could get a pitch in that sweet spot of his, I'd love to see one go off the scoreboard here today.
And the manager, Gary Calhoun, still coaching first base. Travis Poole, the hitting coach for the Harbor Hawks, coaching third. Just switching things up a little bit maybe. Just trying to change up what's been going on. I don't know. Change the dynamic, I guess, the mojo.
Hey, it's working. It's working so far.
All right. We'll see if that will continue.
We're off to a faster start tonight than we have been in the past few games.
The 1-2 by Hardigan is flown into shallow right center field. Wallace moves under, but he's called off by Thomas, who makes the catch for out number 1.
Almost in the perfect spot for base hit. Sadly, that ball was hit just a smidge too high, and it was just high enough to where Thomas could get under it in time to grab the first out.
That'll bring us back to the top of the order. It's the center fielder, Caden Rose. The business major at Alabama will look to put something together here with one away. First pitch by Jake Bennett is just under the bat of Rose for strike 1.
Rose batting 196 on the season with 4 RBI so far.
The 0-1 Rose tries to drop a bunt. It's a called strike as he pulled it back. We've seen Rose drop a bunt in a bunt in a couple of the last games. Tried to drop one yesterday, went back to the pitcher.
Yeah, just about the worst spot you could bunt it to, straight back to the mound. An easy play for the pitcher.
The 0-2 to Rose is a breaking ball that misses low. Jake Bennett, the tall lefty from Oklahoma, fired 55 in a third innings pitched in 2021 as he gets Caden Rose swinging for out number 2.
Beautiful breaking ball for Bennett there. Good second out in the inning, and the second time Rose has gone down with a strikeout, the third strikeout on the night for Bennett so far tonight.
He had 60 punch-outs in those 55 in a third innings at Oklahoma. That'll bring up Clark Elliott once again. He singled in his first at-bat of the night. Pair of hits in last night's ball game. Found himself on base 3 times.
Showing his aggressive hitting at the plate in this at-bat. Swinging at that first pitch, looking for that second single of the night.
He had a .403 on-base percentage at Michigan in 2021 as he looks to drop a bunt, pushes it to third but foul. 0-2. If you can get that down, Anderson was playing pretty deep at third. He'll play even deeper now with the count 0-2. Do not expect another bunt here from Elliott. As we know, if it goes foul with 2 strikes, you're out.
Elliott now with 4 hits on the season after that 3-hit night last night. Ooh.
That one comes inside. It was a fastball at 92. Elliott went to check his swing, but it hit him on the hand for just a moment. He'll take his arm guard and shin pad off. They'll say no swing, and Elliott will be awarded first base on the hit by pitch. So he's reached base safely in both at-bats tonight. Now he scored that run. Off the hand is a hit by pitch, so Elliott will reach first base.
And then I think that might have gotten him about right on the wrist, actually. Just far enough to where it sort of bruises a little bit, could cause some pain for him over at first.
Elliott has the run scored earlier in the game as Kyle Ball swinging at the first pitch in both of his at-bats tonight. This one flown to center field and brought in by Thomas to end the inning. The Harbor Hawks strand one. They still hold a 1-0 lead over Bourne as we head to the 4th. Back here for the top of the 4th inning, Jonas Scalero has been brilliant for Hyannis to this point as he's worked through 3 innings. 1 hit allowed, no walks or runs, and he struck out 3. 2-3-4 due up for the Braves. Max Anderson, the third baseman, as he fouls that one off, followed by Dalton Rushing, the catcher, and Braylon Wimmer, the left fielder.
Anderson so far one of the 3 strikeouts that Scalero has had tonight. All 3 of those strikeouts for Scalero have been swinging, so the Braves have been aggressive at the plate, but they haven't been able to find, they've only been able to find open grass 1 time.
Only 4 pitchers in the Hawks bullpen, as a handful of the guys were drafted. The 1-2, or the 1-1 is swung on to bring the count to 1-2. Daniel Lloyd, one of the relievers. He had left the team a few days ago, but was drafted. Hunter Dula, Andrew Baker, both starters. Jalen Nowlin, kind of a starter-reliever hybrid, also drafted. As down goes Anderson for out number 1.
You know, Hunter Dula, who, as you mentioned, got drafted, was actually meant to start for tomorrow's game against the Braves. So I talked to manager Gary Calhoun prior to tonight's game, and I asked him if Dula was still going to be in the roster for tomorrow. He said no. As of now, the pitcher for tomorrow is still TBD as of now because of the last-second change now.
Rushing swings at a first pitch, fastball can't catch up, 0-1. So recapping the 7 current Harbor Hawks that were drafted: Adam Hackenberg to the White Sox, Hunter Dula to the Giants, Jalen Nowlin to the Twins, Andrew Baker and Seth Halverson both to the Phillies, Mariano Ricciardi to the Oakland Athletics, and Daniel Lloyd to the Baltimore Orioles.
I bet you're happy about those Phillies picks.
Happy for Andrew and Seth and the Phillies, 'cause I think they got 2 great pitchers with a lot of talent. Saw Baker and Halverson have a couple of effective outings this season. Baker's velocity was phenomenal all season long. A guy who could reach up to 97 we saw. I believe maybe 98 once or twice.
He did touch 98 a handful of times. I don't think it was more than a few.
Seth Halverson against his Bourne Braves team on opening night was spectacular. He threw 3 shutout innings against them. So I'm excited to see those 2 guys in the Phillies system as that one's flowing to right center field. Caden Rose is going to call for it and make the catch. 2 up, 2 down here in the 4th. Plenty of Harbor Hawks drafted, including former players as well.
I think it was. I know that it's more than 3 former players at least have been were drafted.
We're still getting some of the final tallies as we, so many guys have come through this Cape Cod League.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out if, the 600 plus draft picks, which ones were in the Cape or not.
I was surprised with how many were actually in the Cape this season.
That one hit well to right center field. Rose camps under it right before the warning track, makes the catch to end the inning. Scalero keeps rolling as he retires the side in order here in the 4th. We head to the bottom of the 4th on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Hello, everyone. So I know a female voice here, a little bit new. This is Hallie DeVore and Chris Corso from the Cape Cod Baseball League filling in while Austin and Lincoln do some work with WEEI's Game of the Week. So we'll be taking you just for the bottom of this inning.
Yeah, Hallie, it's good to switch spots here and be on the Hyannis broadcast.
There you go. Going to take it in over for the first bat. Sorry we missed that. That was going to be a 4-3 play.
Yeah, the first baseman, Zane Harris, a really easily hit ground ball to the second baseman. That is a quick, easy out for out number 1 in the bottom of the 4th.
He had a double in the first inning for Hyannis. Next up to bat is Romano Ryan.
Fastball taken right down the middle for Ryan.
Strike.
0-1 count.
Another swing and a miss. Count is 0-2.
Yeah, Jake Bennett really pitching well after giving up that first run to Hyannis. He's really attacking the hitters at this point.
He showed bunt. They're going to call Look. They're going to talk that one over a little bit with the first baseman coach for Hyannis.
Yeah, it looked like he held the bat out for the bunt on 2 strikes there, and he kind of left it out and did not make any contact on the bunt. So that is a strikeout in the book.
Next up to bat, number 17, Luke Mann. He was hit by the pitch and then caught stealing in the second inning.
Yeah, the catcher pretty much threw behind man when he's out on the bases, and he tried to get into second base and was not successful, thrown out at second base earlier in the game.
He'll swing and miss at the first pitch, a fastball down the center.
Yeah, really good off-speed pitch from the left-hander there. The batter was a little out in front on that off-speed pitch.
0-1 count. Another ball into the left, into the dirt.
Yeah, the umpire does not say he went on that ball. It was low and outside on another breaking ball to the left-hander. That'll even up the count at 1-1.
He'll swing at that. 1-2 count.
Hallie, that's the 3rd breaking ball in a row for the left-hander. He's not not ready to throw a fastball yet.
And he'll swing and miss at that. It'll go into the dirt. He'll make the attempt to first, but they'll catch it for the 3rd out. Well, that'll be all from us. Your regular guys are going to be back in the bottom of the next inning, but thanks for letting us take over for quick half inning.
Caden Wallace leading us off here in the 5th inning. Austin, DeCouta, Lincoln, Revill back with you. Thank you to Hallie and Chris for filling in for us for that inning. We were over with the WEEI crew for a little bit.
Emphasis on a little bit after how quick the
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
1-1 the count. Scalero back on the hill for the 5th here. This is the longest outing of the season we've seen from a Harbor Hawks starting pitcher. And Jonas Scalero has not really been a starter. Well, not here at least, and not at Florida State.
Yeah, no, yeah, he's just made relief appearances, as you said, on the WEEI broadcast, and this is really phenomenal as he's had the longest outing of the season and in his first start of the season, no less.
They count 3-1. There's no action in the Harbor Hawk bullpen, so we're going to see how far Scalero can go. Got him on a fastball 3-2. The 3-2 swing and a miss on a breaking ball for out number 1.
A great comeback for Scalero there. He was down 3-1 at one point and then just fought back 2 strikes there. And a great first out there for him in this 5th inning, and officially now the longest outing with 4 1/3 innings.
The previous long on the season for a Harbor Hawk starter was Hunter Dula, all the way back a couple weeks ago when we were in Falmouth for the 5-2 win over the Commodores. That'll bring up Colby Thomas, who went down swinging in the 2nd, something he did not really become familiar with last night. He did it once, but otherwise had a homer, double, triple, and now 0-1 the count to Thomas. Breaking ball and a good bender at that. 0-2 as that 79-mile-per-hour off-speed pitch started in the left-handed hitter's batter's box and just broke across the plate.
Yeah, just another example of beautiful, beautiful breaking ball there. We've seen it a lot of times from Scalero so far, and then he comes back with a massive fastball there. Just an awesome, awesome mix of pitches for him.
The count 0-2 to Thomas. The 0-2, a breaking ball, just misses a little bit.
That would have been amazing. That would have been a phenomenal 3rd strike there. Just barely missing the black part of the plate on that outside corner.
The count 1-2 to Thomas. A windup and the pitch. Got him on a nice changeup in the dirt as Scalero strikes out back-to-back batters here in the 5th. 6 punch-outs now on the night for Jonas Scalero.
Yeah, 6 strikeouts through now 4 2/3 innings. And again, just 1 runner allowed on base so far with that single back in the 3rd. But other than that, Scalero has been shut down on the mound so far.
That'll bring up Nick Goodwin, the DH. He grounded out to second base and the 3rd. 3 groundouts over to second tonight. Romano's been busy. Caden Rose also has 4 putouts in center field. So a lot of the action heading to those 2 guys. The 1-0. Breaking ball called strike. 1-1, and he's just throwing that pitch whenever he wants it, and it's a strike every time.
Hey, if you can pound that strike zone in like he's been doing and just really find any part of the zone with that breaking ball, I say throw it as much as you can.
The 1-1, a fastball called strike 1-2. And Ryan Proto has done a terrific job in his 2nd start now. He's called great games all around. He called the game the other night when we saw Adrian Saravo and Hunter Furtado piggyback and just give up, I believe, 3 or 4 runs between the 2 and a swing and a miss. Jonas Scalero strikes out the side in order in the 5th, and he cannot be touched. We head to the bottom of the 5th on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Bottom of the 5th inning, just moments away, but before we get there, it's that time of the ball game where I toss it over to Lincoln Revill, who will take over the command of the play-by-play duties from here on out. Lincoln, go ahead. It's all yours.
Thank you very much, Austin. Another phenomenal job from you, as you have every single game so far this season.
I don't know about that. There's been some tough ones, but thank you. I appreciate it.
Right now, Ryan Proto back at the plate, the catcher, as he grounds that one over to third. That's off the glove of Anderson, and Proto's going to reach base for the first time tonight. We'll see if that's an error or a base hit, as that is going to be an E5. Anderson with the first error of the game for either team, as the Braves record their first error, and Proto now on first.
Yeah, he's hit the ball well in both of his at-bats. He had a pretty well-struck fly ball to right center and a hard-hit grounder. He's making contact, which is all you really can ask at this point in the year. You know, the team struck out a little bit too much at some of the games, but now you're putting the ball in play, and as we see, when the ball's in play, good things will happen for your team.
Yeah, the Harbor Hawks have recorded as high as, well, over 15 strikeouts. I'm not sure of the exact numbers.
19 was a season high.
19, yes, that is. We've seen a couple of high strikeout games for the Harbor Hawks, but as of now, they've only struck out a combined 5 times through 4 1/3 innings. So very good outing for the Harbor Hawks so far, being able to really hit the ball, especially in the past couple of games, that is. Count now 1-0 to another catcher for the Harbor Hawks, Dylan Post. He's in the DH spot for the team tonight, but him and Proto, 2 of the 3 catchers in the 3-catcher rotation for the Harbor Hawks this season. Bennett back on the mound as he comes set. Long look over at first, takes another glance. That one's fouled off, bringing the count even at 1-1 now. Now Post came into this game batting .222 on the season from the University of Houston. That's gone down just a little bit as he had a strikeout in his last time at the plate. Looking to advance Proto. Currently stands on first. Pitch comes in at 1-1. He lines that one over towards left field. It's going to be Wimmer coming in with an easy grab. Barely had to move for that one, as that is out number 1. Post goes down with the F7.
Yeah, Dylan Post has consistently put the ball in play all season long. He's only struck out twice in 18 at-bats, so a guy who's not really going to punch out a ton. I mean, he did go down looking back in the second, but in terms of overall productivity, just 3 punch-outs and 20 at-bats. He's going to see a lot of pitches. He's going to put the ball in play as he does there.
Yeah, with so few strikeouts, you can tell he's really seeing the ball well here in the Cape, as that first pitch to Mitch Hartigan, a hefty swing there from the lefty, but he can't find it. 0-1 becomes the count with 1 away. Once again, the Harbor Hawks leading 1-0 here. The Bourne Braves with no runs on just 1 hit and 1 error. The Hawks with 1 run on 2 hits and no errors. Hartigan lines that one. That's through for a base hit. Proto is going to be stopped at second as that actually gets past Wallace. Proto now advancing over to third. To throw to third is not in time. Runners now on the corners for the Harbor Hawks with the top of the lineup coming up.
The dugout's alive. The fans are on their feet. The Harbor Hawks putting everything together a little bit tonight. And a good hit by Hartigan and great base running all around by Ryan Proto. He freezes on the ground ball to let it go by him, because if it hits you in the base path, you're out, as we know.
Yeah.
Then he advances to second, a little bit of a bobble, and he went to third. Got good enough speed as a catcher, and a good situation for Hyannis. And Hartigan's got decent speed on first as well.
Yeah, Hartigan, we've seen some wheels from him, as Caden Rose steps up to the plate for his 3rd appearance. 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Now we have yet to see a stolen base from Hartigan, but we know that he can get around the bases in quite some time. We'll see if he can nab his first stolen base of the season here tonight, as he stands on first with 1 away. Caden Rose with a 1-0 count. Hartigan goes over from first. No throw in. Hartigan now advances to second with his first stolen base of the season. It's like he almost heard me from first.
There was not going to be a throw from rushing. They kind of let him have it, but Hartigan got a decent jump anyways. The dugouts really come to life for Hyannis, and it would be an incredible accomplishment for the Harbor Hawks to knock off the #1 Braves tonight.
On that one, the chop down to third, as that is going to be Proto, caught trying to get a little bit greedy there as the throw comes in from home, and he's tagged out in the third base line for out number 2.
A tough play there. I mean, a high chopper right to third, so they pretty much had him easily going home. It was either going to be an out at first to Caden Rose. You'd rather have him make that play because Rose runs well, so you'd rather force them to make the throw across the diamond to first. So unfortunate out on the base pass by Hyannis.
Now Proto almost was able to get home in time, as that throw coming from Anderson to Rushing was a little bit low, but Rushing was able to pick that one before it touched the ground and make that out. So now 2 away for Clark Elliott, with runners on first and second. That's Hardigan over at second base and Caden Rose now at first. Elliott with a little half swing there as he fouls that one off. Count moves to 0-1 with 2 away. Once again, this is the middle of a 3-game series with the Bourne Braves. The last time we'll play the Braves in this series, at least at home, as we'll be moving to Bourne tomorrow for that game. Just a reminder, that broadcast tomorrow will be audio only, as it is against the rules for the away team to broadcast on away games. So once again, that will be an audio only broadcast. The 0-1 finds the outside corner. Strike 2 to Clark Elliott. 0-2, 2 away now. An early threat from the Harbor Hawks for Elliott, who has a chance to gain another RBI here. Base hit could score a run, as we've seen speed from Hardigan. Pitch comes in on the outside, just missing. Ball 1.
That's a good take by Elliott. If that's probably 6 inches inside more on the plate, then it's a strike. But he knows he has a real good plate discipline, a real good eye at the plate, does Elliott, in that 403 OBP at Michigan.
Yeah, Rushing was actually set up on the outside corner, and he actually caught that one a little bit on the outside, so definitely outside of the plate as that one pops straight up. That's going to stay in the infield. Knapcheck calls everybody off as he makes the grab in the infield for out number 3. The threat from the Harbor Hawks ends with 2 runners stranded as we head now to the 6th. Harbor Hawks up 1-0 on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Sixth inning of play coming up from Judy Walden Scarafile Field at McKeon Park. Lincoln Revill alongside Austin DeCouta as the Braves back up. Joshua Moylan starting off, followed by Tanner Schobel and Christian Knapcheck. As a new pitcher comes up, that first pitch to Moylan is through for a base hit. As he now reaches base for the first time, the first base runner since the third inning for the Braves to open up this sixth inning of play.
Yeah, Austin Wallace on the hill, and unfortunately for him, Moylan just puts it in a spot where there's no Harbor Hawk defenders. It wasn't hit all that hard. It was just in between Harris and Romano, and that'll get the leadoff man on. So we'll see what's in play here with Schobel, the 9-hitter, up. Maybe looking at a bunt or a steal in this at-bat as the Braves really need to get a guy in scoring position.
Jonas Scalero, his night is done. Arguably the best pitching outing that we've seen all season from the Harbor Hawks.
Oh, I would say so.
5 innings pitched, only 1 hit given up, no walks, no runs, and 7 strikeouts.
Phenomenal.
Fantastic. Austin Wallace now with an 0-2 count as that pitch comes into Tanner Schobel.
I wonder who Taylor's post-game interview will be with today. Got a feeling I know who. Lots of signs coming from third base.
Not even going to try to guess what's happening.
Could just be nothing. They're just trying to
Yeah, I could. Yeah.
deke the Harbor Hawks defense.
0-1 the count. Wallace, the southpaw, comes home. That one misses down low, brings out even at 1-1 now. I was wrong with the 0-2 count. Once again, Harbor Hawks up 1-0 here with 4 hits, as to the Braves no runs and 2 hits now after that single from Moylan. That pitch comes in. Count now moves to 1-2 after that one finds the inside part of the plate. Another throw over to first from Wallace. That one misses low. No tag from Harris over at first base. Moylan with a lead, not a big one, but a decent lead nonetheless. That one misses low for 2-2 now. Yeah, that's Moylan over at first with about a 4-step lead, so bigger than you might see, as strike 3 is called on the inside. Tanner Schobel goes down looking for out number 1 here in the 6th. The first looking strikeout of the night for the Braves, as Scalero finished with 7 swinging strikeouts in his outing. And that's going to bring the top of the lineup, Christian Knapczyk, to the plate. Knapczyk is 0 for 2, a strikeout and a flyout so far. Down misses up high, or inside that is. Good stop there from Proto behind the plate. Wallace with the glove at his chest. He brings it set. Moves it down to his stomach and comes home. 1-0 misses outside for ball 2.
Yeah, a lot of movement on that 73-mile-per-hour off-speed pitch, but he just started it too far outside. As it breaks farther outside, you need to start that one a little bit more over the plate to try to get somebody to swing at that.
The 2-0. Once again, missing just outside. 3 balls and no strikes, now the count. And that might be one of the worst pitches to see as a batter. That is, a pitch that starts in the zone and then just tails off outside. It's really just a terrible feeling whenever you go after it and you just can't even get close to it.
It's especially tough when the pitcher is thrown from the same side that you're hitting, so lefty-lefty, righty-righty. So if you get a slider, if you're a left-handed hitter from a lefty, it just will take you so far into the right-handed batter's box that you can look a little silly. Whereas if it's a slider coming in on you, yeah, you'll look silly swinging at one at your feet that breaks towards you, but some guys will go reaching 2 feet outside on a nasty breaking ball.
3-1 misses outside, as that brings runners now to first and second, as Knapczyk reaches for the first time tonight with a walk. And with 1 away, Max Anderson is going to come up to the plate now. A pair of strikeouts this time. He's been fanned twice, once in the first, once in the 4th. Infield fly rule will come into effect now with 1 out, 2 runners on.
There is action in the Harbor Hawk bullpen. Noah Hall getting loose, the right-hander from South Carolina.
Hall getting ready for his just 2nd appearance for the Harbor Hawks this season.
Caleb Pendleton's going to be left lonely in that bullpen at some point tonight. Him and Coach Johnson will be the only two left, I think, because you have such a limited pitching staff now, as we're kind of in between that awkward time where you were losing 5 or 6 guys from the draft and then waiting for other guys to get here.
I wonder if once they run out of pitchers, do you think they might bring Pendleton into the dugout since there won't really be anybody for him to catch?
They could. We'll see what they do with him.
The 1-0 misses down low. 2 balls and no strikes. Now the count 1 away.
I think Coach Johnson likes that spot, though, down the dugout, so he might stay down there.
I don't blame him. That's actually not a bad spot to be in. Actually, a few weeks back, I got to go to my first Red Sox game at Fenway Park. My seats were down there about where he is, but I was up quite a bit higher than he is right now. But beautiful seats. I love the spot.
You liked Fenway?
I did. I really loved it. It's
an interesting ballpark.
It's been on my bucket list for years now, and I finally got to go to it. I can't say I was disappointed. This one lofted. That's going to stay in the infield. Infield fly is called, as that's brought on by Romano, an automatic out, as that brings 2 away now for Max Anderson, or for Dalton Rushing, that is. Max Anderson now goes down to 0 for 3.
Yeah, Rushing, Lincoln, a left-handed hitter who struggled a bit against Scalero as they piggyback the left-handers. Wallace on the hill. So we'll see if Wallace favors the curveball like Scalero did.
Wallace ends up coming in, starting with the breaking ball, 73 miles an hour for strike 1, finding the heart of the zone. Seems to be one Braves fan mixed in with all the Harbor Hawks fans down on the left side of the field, sitting right there with one of the lawn chairs. The 0-1 from Wallace comes in. That one misses a bit low. Evens the count. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Be a big pitch here for Wallace the next couple if he can get out of this inning. 2 base runners on for the Braves, the most they've had at one time in this ball game.
The 1-1. That misses low. 2 balls now. 2 balls and 1 strike with now 2 away. Runners on first and second. Harbor Hawks looking to maintain that 1-run lead that they have. Got that first run back in the first inning. And since then, we've had all zeros. Here's the 2-1. That one breaks low. Moves the count now to 3 balls and 1 strike. A hitter's count to Dalton Rushing. Can almost assume it's a fastball. I'd say it's going to be on the outside here. Making a little prediction. Maybe I'll be right for the first time. Pitch comes in on the outside. Misses for ball 4. Very close pitch, but not close enough as that loads the bases now for Braylon Wimmer, the cleanup hitter, with 2 away. And you know, Austin, I have been wrong quite a bit, but every once in a blue moon I'll have a right call. I got it for the first time tonight there, first time in weeks with that call.
Not too bad.
Not as good as you are, but you seem to almost never miss with those calls. The first pitch to Wimmer misses down low. Ball 1.
Nowhere to put him.
A huge at bat for Wimmer and Wallace alike. Wimmer with a chance to bring in an RBI. The Braves with a chance to tie the game, as that's going to prompt a mound visit from Coach Korn, the pitching coach.
I think he was stalling the other night when he went to the mound, Coach Korn, to get the reliever a few more pitches, because on his way back, he chatted with the umpire for a good 35 seconds. Just see what the tactic is here. He wants to get Noah Hall a couple more pitches in the pen. Hall's working quickly out there, so we'll see if Wallace will likely finish the batter at least.
Yeah,
we can hope he gets him out here. But Korn's going to take his time, I think, going back. Watch, he'll talk to the umpire for a second. Oh, he just goes back this time. But
interesting.
He usually will chat with the umpire for a minute, I think, buy his pitcher a couple pitches.
Honestly, from the little bit that I know, from the times that I've talked with Coach Korn this season, it seems like something he would do to, stall a little bit, just chat with everybody on his way back. Very talkative, very likable person. The 1-0 fouled off. Evens count, 1 ball and 1 strike. A huge at-bat here for both teams. Braves with a chance to tie the game. Harborhawks looking to get out of this little pickle that they're in, maintain that shallow lead that they have. If they can get out of this, a chance after this to possibly extend that lead. As the 1-1 comes in from Wallace, he fouls that one off as well. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. When we come back for the bottom of the 6th inning, that's going to be Balls, Harris, and Romano due up for the Harborhawks. Harris, the notable one out of those 3, as he had that double back in the bottom of the 1st. The 1-2 misses low. Good stop from Proto. Evens the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 away. I have to say, this bat kind of has my blood pumping a little bit, We're starting to reach into the latter parts of the ball game. The 2-2. Lined and fouled down the first base line, landing in the Braves bullpen. We're going to stay at 2-2. Now with the Harborhawks in the field, the Lucky Hat will not be making an appearance during this time. It only works for the home team, although it's been struggling the past couple of nights, but it's been...
Works.
Hey. Before the past couple of games, it had been very, very dependable, but it's been struggling, as everybody does at times. 3 balls and 2 strikes the count. A huge pitch here coming up for Wallace.
And the runners will be in motion, and that's key. If he gets a ball that he can hit and puts it, anywhere, it's 2 runs at least.
3-2, 2 away. Time is called. Proto signaling time to the umpire. The umpire gives it.
Noah Hall's about ready to go in the bullpen, too.
I think no matter how this at-bat goes, Hall is going to be in next, as this one chopped down to third baseline, picked up by man. Throw to first is in time! The Harborhawks escape trouble and maintain that 1-run lead heading into the bottom of the 6th. Chance to extend that lead after this on the Harborhawks Baseball Network. Bottom half of the 6th inning on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Lincoln Revill alongside Austin DeCouta here for the bottom half of the 6th inning as Kyle Ball set to start us off here, followed by Zane Harris and Ryan Romano, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up for the Harbor Hawks. Harbor Hawks who have a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the 6th. 4 runs on the night and no errors. First pitch to Kyle Ball is fouled off, bringing the count to 0-1 with 1 away.
Yeah, this Ball's third at bat of the night. He swung at the first pitch in all 3.
And new pitcher now on the mound for the Bourne Braves as right-hander Cole Chudoba is now going to be on the mound. Chudoba from Yukon, sporting the blue glove. Getting ready for the 1-1 pitch. He comes home. Now it misses up high for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Now Ball, as we mentioned, is 0 for 2 on the night. Came into tonight with a 140 average. That's gone down a bit after that 0 for 2 outing so far, as the 2-1 is a long drive out towards left field. That's Wimmer ranging back near the wall, and that's going to be at the warning track. He makes the catch for out number 1. A dangerous-looking pop fly at first, but it just didn't have enough power.
Just got under it just a bit, did Ball.
Very strong hit from him, but sadly he now goes down to 0 for 3 with 3 flyouts so far. Zane Harris is going to step up to the plate. Harris at 1 for 2, double in the first, and a 4-3 putout in the fourth. So he takes a hefty hack at that first pitch, but comes up empty for strike 1. Chudoba from the right side brings that one home. That misses down low. 1 ball and 1 strike to count.
Harris will see a lot more time at first with Mason Greer as Marcos Pulhost no longer with the team, for at least the time being.
Yeah, Pulhost left us after last night's game, actually. As this one is lofted and fouled. That's going to head straight back, landing just behind the crowd, actually, just a few feet from some viewers here, as that brings the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes now.
Harris did a great job last night fighting off some pitches with 2 strikes. He does a real good job of working himself back into counts that he might be down early.
Harris in the left box as that one misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count, 1 away now.
Yeah, and he hit 94, the hardest fastball he's thrown. And some more news as right-hander Tommy McCollum, a reliever that was on this roster just a couple weeks ago, is signed with the Philadelphia Phillies. So the Phillies gobbling up three Harbor Hawks righties.
Phillies love the Harbor Hawks.
So congratulations to Tommy McCollum. That makes 8 now from this roster that have been drafted or signed.
8 current, at least 11 Harbor Hawks in total, whether former or current, have been drafted or signed.
The total will end up being more than 11. We're just waiting on the confirmation on a few.
This one lofted and fouled. That's going to head out of play.
And I mentioned it a couple pitches ago. Zane Harris works himself back into counts. He was down 1-2, and now the count's full again. As he's just starting to really swing the bat good the last couple of games. His plate discipline's been tremendous, and I think he's found what's working for him lately.
Harrison last night's game had a single, also reached with a walk, had a fly out and a ground out as well. Chudoba with the payoff, comes home. Fouled off once again. That's actually a drop third strike, says the home plate umpire. Harris on his way down to first. The throw is not in time. Harris finds base on the drop third strike, as the umpires, I think, are going to have a little conversation here, see what exactly happened.
I think Harris initially thought it was fouled off, as did I think a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's why there was hesitation. So now they're going to confer. I don't think the home plate umpire was too sure either, so maybe ask for help here and decide.
I couldn't tell if that went off the bat or off the mitt. I wasn't
The way he
sure.
swung it looked like it went off the bat, but I didn't hear the noise.
Yeah, I didn't hear it either. Yeah, I heard something, but it didn't sound like the wood.
Right.
It sounded like it hit the glove.
It's a long conference over there.
I'm wondering if anybody really saw it. Really saw what happened.
I mean, that's too close to call. I think you just kind of leave it. And yeah, they will.
All right. So Harris is going to reach first for the second time tonight. He reaches base. As that strikeout ends up not a strikeout, as now with the runner on first, one away, Romano is going to come up to the plate. Romano at 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. Chudoba now coming in from the stretch. Has that front foot just a little bit inside, about lined up with the toe of his pivot, as that one comes in low. Swinging and missing is Romano for strike one. 0-1 now the count with one away.
There's a big hole between first and second with Harris being held on. So if Romano can put a ball that way, he's done it before.
A liner over towards left field. That is going to drop. Wimmer actually slipping in the grass as he can't get to that one in time. Runners now on first and second after that single for Romano. He's now 1 for 3.
He hung up just a bit to that ball, but I think Wimmer's stumble eliminated any chance of him making a play on that ball. Fortunately for Hyannis now, you have runners on first and second with one away. A good chance here to add on to this 1-0 lead.
Yeah, continuous mist at times today have really dampened the grass here at McKeon Park, as we just saw Wimmer take a little slip on that initial step. And actually, Austin, I went to play golf today. I actually went for a round of golf.
How'd that go?
Yes. I'll say that.
Okay.
Not great. But on the greens of the golf course I was at today, which is in Hyannis, the greens actually had 2 different shades of green because of the mist and the dew that was on the field on the course today. So it was a very wet day from Hyannis today.
It's been a wet month as there's been rain in nearly every day. I saw something that there's been rain in Boston. I think it was, 12 of the 13 days so far in July, which is a record.
Oh, wow.
We haven't seen that before. So you guys coming up from Texas probably think this is what the weather is like.
Yeah, we go months without seeing any rain down in Texas.
Usually it's 85 to 90 every day in July and sunny. So this has just been, is this like what maybe May is like typically, this weather? Just a weird year up here.
I'm not disappointed with the weather. It's nice and cool as opposed to the 105, 106 days that we get in Texas. So I like that, but the rain I could do without.
Hopefully it ends soon. We do have a couple weeks left here.
Yeah. Three weeks I think it is.
Just about.
Yeah. Last regular season game, August 4th.
At Wareham.
1-1. Off the netting, brings the count now to 1-2. An interesting span of last games, as I think you mentioned earlier on. Our last 3 games are at the ballparks with no lights, I think. Is that right? Something like that?
I have to check. I know, Wareham has lights the last game of the year.
Oh,
but
that's
there
right.
are
Yeah,
games late in the year at Brewster and Katuitt where we have like 4 o'clock starts because of the no light situations towards the end.
Yeah, Wareham has lights. It's YD, Katuitt, and Brewster who don't have lights.
Yes, we haven't actually had a game yet at the YD field.
No, yeah, we have one more on the 24th. I think it is the 24th. We're playing the Red Sox.
We travel to Brewster one more time. Katuitt 2 more.
And then Katuitt, I think. Yeah, Katuitt will come here one more time as well.
Right, 3 more matchups with the Kettleers on the year.
Looking for our first Patriot Cup since 2015, as this one's lined over to short. That's off of Harris. So Harris is going to be out. He couldn't get out of the way of that hot shot. But Mann reaches first safely with now 2 away.
Well, nothing Harris could have done differently on that play, but if that ball gets by him, it might be a double play.
Yeah.
So
really,
in a way,
took one for the team. I think he did a favor there, an unintentional favor at that. But
now how do you score that play? Fielder's choice on that one.
But what fielder made the choice though? So now runners on first and second with 2 away. The infield fly that is now no more. As this one's lined over to second, that's going to be brought in by Knapczyk, not moving to make that grab, as that's going to end the 6th. Harbor Hawks go down, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left stranded as we head to the 7th. Hawks up 1-0 on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Top of the 7th now up as the Braves back at the plate. It's going to be Caden Wallace, Colby Thomas, and Nick Goodwin, the next 3 up, as Austin Wallace is back in. That one's ripped down into left field for a base hit. Wallace is going to round first, and that is a leadoff single for him as he now moves to 1 for 3 on the night. And a fast start here for the Braves in the 7th after almost tying the game in the 6th, but thankfully that little situation was taken care of by the Harbor Hawks. A good play from Luke Mann over at third to end that inning. Action, more action out in the Harbor Hawks bullpen. Noah Hall finishing, getting warmed up once again.
This may be the last batter for Wallace. Calhoun's 2 steps out of the dugout. They just signaled down to the bullpen and gave him the he's ready hat tip, kind of.
Yeah. Mason Greer doing a good job of backing up the bullpen catcher Pendleton. Making sure no foul ball hits them, making sure no ball gets past the bullpen. Count now at 0-1 to Colby Thomas. Thomas 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts, that is, as he fouls that one off. 0-2 the count. And Thomas, the player who almost had the cycle in last night's game, has yet to find base this game. Shows just how fast your luck can change in just a matter of hours.
Harbor Hawks are happy to see his bats cooled down after last night.
Yeah, six RBIs for him.
The Braves need one from him here.
0-2 the count. Wallace delivers. That one's popped up. That should stay in play as that one's going to head over towards the Braves bullpen and lands just on top of the roof. So we'll stay at 0-2.
Wynn took that one out. It looked like it was going to be playable, but unfortunately for Zane Harris, he's not going to be able to scale the dugout tonight.
Not heavy gusts as we've seen in past games from McKeon Park. The Stars and Stripes limp out by the scoreboard as the 0-2 comes in. That one misses outside for ball 1. There is a little bit of a breeze as you see a little bit of movement from there, a little bit of movement from the trees out lining the fence out in the outfield. But nothing uncontrollable like we saw last week. That whenever Hurricane Elsa made a visit. I guess tropical storm when it came up here.
Ton of rain, though. I mean,
There
that
was.
dumped about, I don't even know, 6 inches of rain or something. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was.
It was as a lot of us have heard, it was blowing sideways. It was raining sideways.
It was
during that day. The 1-2 in foul territory. That's Harris ranging back a little bit. On the warning track for out number 1, he makes the grab. Thomas now 0 for 3 with that F3, as Nick Goodwin will come up with 1 out.
Looks like Wallace will get another batter here.
The Braves bat boy sprinting around home plate after making a stop over at the third base coach's box.
I think they want to let Wallace go maybe this one, and if he gets Goodwin out, Moreland's a lefty on deck.
Wallace misses that first pitch outside. 1-0 the count with 1 away. Goodwin 0 for 2 on the night. Ground out and a strikeout to his name so far. He struck out swinging in that 5th inning. The last strikeout on the night for Jonas Scalero, as that one gets past Proto, and that's going to allow Wallace to reach second now on that pass ball. Count now moves even to 1-1 with 1 away. Now the one of the Harbor Hawks bat boys getting his chance to sprint from home plate and back, dropping off some new foul balls to that home plate umpire.
Good job all around.
Chris Barstow behind the plate for tonight's game. Pitch comes in. That one's fouled off. 1-2 the count. Chance for strikeout number 2 for Wallace. Umpires for tonight's game, as I mentioned, Chris Barstow behind home plate. Mickey Garcia, the first base umpire. He's now in front of second, and Jeff Kinney will be down the third base line. The 1-2 hit over towards short. That's going to be Ball picking that one up. The hard throw over to first. Dig from Harris is in time for out number 2.
Great play there by Ball to get that one over, but even better of a play by Zane Harris to dig that one out from the dirt. A big out number 2 as you're 1 out away from stranding the tying run at third.
Yeah, Harris saving a run as Wallace now stands at third base. If that ball would have gotten past him, then that would have resulted in a tie game, as Wallace would have had an easy way home. But instead, now 2 away, chance for the third out and saving that run, as you mentioned. Wallace missing outside for 1-0. A little bit of chirping from the lone Braves fan down on the Harbor Hawks side. The 1-0 finds that outside corner. Beautiful fastball there at 87 miles an hour. Brings the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Joshua Moylan now at the plate. 1 for 2 on the night. One of 3 hits now for the Braves. He's 1 for 2 with a ground out and a single. Count moves to 1-2 after he swings at that one. Can't connect with it.
I'd go back to the curveball here on 1-2. Lefty-lefty matchup. Yeah, I'd try to take him out of the zone.
Where you think? You think he's going to start in the zone and then move it out? Like
yeah. Outside. Proto's setting up outside too. It's a fastball, but it is outside and high. That's why it's a ball.
Count now 2-2 with 2 away. Noah Hall has ceased warming up in the bullpen. Looks like he's ready to go, so he'll probably end up starting in the next inning. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Pitch comes in. Breaking ball, swung on and missed, drop third strike. Proto chunks it on down for out number 3. Harbor Hawks escape another pickle as we head to the bottom of the 7th. The 7th inning stretch coming up on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Back here, bottom of the seventh inning stretch has concluded. I'm disappointed. No chicken dance tonight.
Oh, that's too bad.
They just ended warm-ups as Take Me Out to the Ball game finished up, so a little disappointing. But
you didn't get to dance for everybody in the booth tonight.
I know. I'm disappointed. I was actually waiting for it to come up so I could get up and do my little chicken dance, but instead, we're about to get started here for the bottom of the seventh. Harbor Hawks back at the plate, leading 1-0 against the Bourne Braves. Dylan Post going to start us off. Mitch Hardigan on deck, and Caden Rose will be in the hole. The 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming up for the Harbor Hawks. As Dylan Post steps in, he watches that first one go by. That's strike one on the inside for an 0-1 count. Post is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout to his name. Sporting those orange and blue batting gloves that were given to the team by Franklin. Franklin, one of the sponsors that gifted each team with their own batting gloves. As this one is grounded over to short. That's going to be picked up by Schobel. Throw to first is in time for out number 1. Post now down to 0 for 3 on the night.
He continues to hit the ball hard, though, in his appearances at the dish. He's somebody that's going to be on a lot of scouts' radars for next year's draft, the catcher at Houston. I really like his potential.
And even though the draft has concluded, there's still some scouts hanging out down below, just in case there's some stragglers that they might have missed.
No, I think they're starting to get ready for next year's draft already, as Bill Belichick does.
Guess the work never stops. A long drive out towards right field. That's going to be, oh my goodness, a catch from Wallace out in right field as he robs what could have been an extra base hit there for out number 2 from Mitch Hardigan. A phenomenal play coming in from Caden Wallace out in right field. He slid on the foul line for that second out. So now with 2 outs, Caden Rose is going to step up to the plate. Rose has reached base once. He's 0 for 3 on the night. That one-time reaching base was due to a fielder's choice as he fouls that first pitch off towards the Braves dugout. That is going to fall out of play just past the dugout. Brings the count to 0-1 with 2 away.
Rose was hitting the ball real well in batting practice today. See if that translates in this at-bat. He jokingly said the other day that he wishes there was a position for all defense. Rather like, as the DH, just somebody who plays the field at all times. But Caden's a good hitter. Does a lot of things well at the dish, but, that just shows you he's such an elite defender.
He is.
And he likes playing it. A lot of guys don't, necessarily enjoy defense, but Rose takes a lot of pride in that defense.
The 0-2 is fouled off. He'll stay at the 0-2 count. Good battle brewing here for Rose. Now I know that at the college level for softball they have a thing called the designated player, but really it's just a different name for a DH.
Yeah, I don't really watch a ton of college softball, so I couldn't tell you.
I've called a few games at the college level for softball, so
I've only called 1 or 2, but I've called them. I know they had the designated player in that game.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was an all fielder, like a fielder only player, but it turns out that's just another name for a DH, really. Count stays at 0-2. The pitch from Chidoba misses outside. Pitch coming in at 84 miles an hour. 1-2 the count with 2 away now. See if Rose can fight back here. He's down in the count still. Chidoba from the right-handed side. This is low. Now evens at 2-2, 2 away, and now I have my good hat, my own hat.
That pitch looked good.
It did look really good. It did. It was a close call. The tiebreaker. Line down the third base side. That's going to be picked up by Anderson. Throw over to first is just in the nick of time for out number 3. A 1-2-3 inning for the Braves as the Harbor Hawks go down. 8th inning coming up. Braves trailing 1-0 on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Eighth inning coming up here from Judy Walden Scarifield Field. Lincoln Revill once again alongside my good friend Austin DeCouta as we're here for the last 2 innings of play. As new pitcher on the mound for the Harbor Hawks as Noah Hall brings that first pitch in for strike 1 to Tanner Schobel. Again, Harbor Hawks maintaining a 1-0 lead here in the 8th. Scored the only run back in the 1st. Since then, it's been a stalemate as this first pitch is ripped down the first base line. That's foul, 0-2 the count. Fastball from Hall.
Hall fired that scoreless inning in his first appearance and only appearance of the season, Lincoln. He was good. He was effective. He was in the zone. We'll see if he can continue to do that.
Hall was activated just a few days ago, not even a week. Like Austin said, he's had only 1 appearance so far. That appearance coming back against the Wareham Gatemen. Our game here against the Gatemen just a couple days ago as this drop third strike. Proto throws it down to first for out number 1. Schobel goes down for the first out of the 8th inning.
Great pitch by Hall, taking Schobel out of the zone on 0-2. You don't have to come in the zone when you're ahead in the count like that, and he does a good job of getting him to chase on a good off-speed pitch in the dirt.
So now with 1 away, Christian Knapczyk comes back up to the plate. Knapczyk, the second baseman, 0 for 2 with a strikeout, a flyout, and he's reached on a walk. Watch that first one go low for ball 1.
Noah Hall, originally from Appalachian State, transferring to South Carolina. Also likes to golf and play basketball in his spare time when he's not working out or getting ready for the game here in Hyannis. A lot of guys will go to the gym down here 5 to 6 days a week, take 1 full day off. Caden Rose, Dom Johnson, they get into that routine they were saying of, gym in the morning, you get here early for the game, take some swings, depending on how last game went. If you're swinging the bat good, maybe you come in a little bit later. But they're all here early for BP, all ready to go.
As we know, Shohei Ohtani, with one of the hottest bats in baseball right now, never takes batting practice. His first time taking BP was last night before the home run derby.
I just don't know if I can believe it. I know he said it, but
yeah, I don't know if I believe that either.
He's had to have taken some form of batting practice at some point.
Yeah. If you come into the MLB and just start swinging, I don't think you can be hot. The 3-0 pitch misses low, a 4-pitch walk coming into Christian Knapczyk with 1 away, as that brings a runner on first for Max Anderson.
Knapczyk did hit the ball well in the 3rd, so Hall was dancing around the zone just a bit, trying to be careful. But the lineup doesn't get easier from here. With 1 away, you got to face 2-3 in the form of Anderson and Rushing. 2 guys you have to be careful with, but the walks are what can come back to haunt you, so you can't just start loading up the bases with walks here late in the ball game.
It's walk number 1 for Hall now.
Coach Korn going to chat with Hall about his mechanics, make sure he's getting himself straight. I mean, he threw 3 straight strikes, then 4 straight balls, so a little bit of everything here. Just got to find a little bit of consistency. No action in the bullpen, so this is Hall's inning.
Yeah, now there is someone standing up. I think that's Greer, actually.
Yeah, it's Mason Greer.
Yeah, he won't be coming in.
He won't be coming in for the save, unfortunately.
No.
Hall can complete the 8th and 9th. He would get the save tonight.
Numbers for Austin Wallace are in. A lot of 2s coming in from Wallace. 2 innings pitched, 2 hits given up, 2 walks, and he struck out 2 as well.
Not a bad outing. I mean, he worked out a danger a couple of times.
Yeah, very, very dangerous 6th inning there as the Braves loaded the bases with 2 away, and then Luke Mann ended up helping save that one with a great play over at third base for the 3rd out. Breaking ball from Hall, misses outside. A good pitch, could have been a tempting pitch to, that's Anderson at the plate, but he decides not to take it as the count moves to 1-0 with 1 away.
Hall can throw that breaking ball for a strike. You saw it there on the first pitch of this at-bat, but now behind 1-0, 5 straight balls, you might have to come back with a fastball.
And it is a fastball. That one's low and away. Good stop from Proto there behind the plate. Brings the count now 2 balls
and no strikes with one away now.
A little bit of trouble finding the zone here for Hall. But one pitch, you get a double play the yard of the inning, so there's always that.
Hall has now thrown 6 straight balls looking for that first strike since Tanner Schobel, who went down with a strikeout. To start this inning off as the count moves to 3-0. Proto walking out past home to give that ball back to Hall. A double play here would be huge for the Harbor Hawks to get out of this threat early. Knapczyk posing a little threat as he is on base for the second time tonight after walking again back in the 6th.
You can't just float one in here, as Anderson came into the game batting .342, which is why you see Hall locate low in the zone, because if you come belt high to a guy like Anderson who's been dominating all season, even on 3-0, if they can find a pitch in a spot that they're looking for, they'll destroy the ball.
Yeah, now I will say with the lack of strikes that we've seen from Noah Hall recently, I would be surprised if Anderson was given the green light on that 3-0 count, but
it has to be in a specific location that you're sitting.
That
if you're going to look middle in and it's there, then you swing, but otherwise anywhere else, it's not there, you don't swing, especially with him being a little bit wild here.
It has to be the absolute perfect pitch. And now that 3-0 pitch that came into Anderson a couple moments ago just grazed the knee part of the plate, as that one's a chopper over towards third. That's going to drop foul. As that brings the count now to 3-2. And I think that might have been the better call there, as it was right on the line, right near the line. He called it foul. It wouldn't have been good enough for a double play. Man was too far from second to make that throw in time, so he would have had to just go for the one, and he would have left that runner in a scoring position for Dalton rushing. So I think that's the fortunate call that it was foul.
Well, depending on what happens in this at-bat the remainder of the way.
Yeah, of course. But for that pitch in particular, The payoff. Grounded over towards the middle, and that's through for a base hit. That's Rose picking that one up. Runners are going to stay at first and second. So that brings runners to first and second now with one away for Dalton rushing. And now that's where the worst part of that play comes in, is now instead of getting just the one play that you could have had on that foul ball, now there's 2 runners on with one away. And Dalton rushing at the plate.
And there is action in the Harbor Hawk bullpen as the right-hander Angus McCloskey begins to get loose from Pace University. Last eligible reliever, or not eligible, but last guy that was on the sheet before the game of guys who were probable to pitch at some point. We saw Scalero go 5 scoreless. Lincoln, he was dominant. And then Austin Wallace, followed by Noah Hall, who's on the hill now.
Now, interesting little move here. I do see Tommy McCullum getting stretched out there in the bullpen. This one pops straight up. That's going to be out of play. That's going to head past the press box, as that's foul. McCullum, who actually just got signed today, doing some band work out there. Count at 1-1. Hall from the right-handed side comes home. That one misses outside. 2-1 the count. Total attendance just came in for the game tonight. 1,168. Still a decent-sized crowd. 1,668, I should say. Yeah, an even more decent-sized crowd.
Pretty good showings.
Yeah.
You get a little bit less fans on games where the teams are traveling from Bourne or I think Wareham to, the ballparks furthest away, Orleans, Chatham. But it seems to be Catuit. You get a real good crowd. When Falmouth was here, we saw a lot of fans. Mm-hmm. Even Harwich. We went to Harwich, we had a busy crowd. But Harwich is yet to come here, I believe.
3-1 fouled off, brings the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
But it's the Catuit Falmouth games and YD. Those games are packed.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the teams that are closest to us for the most part. Bourne a little bit closer in driving distance than Falmouth, but seems to be a better traveling contingency with Falmouth and Bourne.
Hall coming in with the payoff. That one misses low. Bases loaded with one away now. Another scary moment for the Harbor Hawks here. A big chance for the Braves as Braylon Wimmer steps to the plate now. Coach Calhoun not going to take Hall out as of now. Chance to let him get out of this mess.
Zane Harris, the only infielder in on the grass. The middle infield will try to turn the double play.
Pitch coming in, that one misses outside to Wimmer. Now it seems that Hall is trying to pitch around all of these batters instead of just go right at it. He's missing a lot of outside, missing a lot.
Well, at first I thought he might be
outside.
trying to work around a few guys, but now it looks like it's a control issue tonight.
You think?
Yeah, unfortunately, because that one's missing, way outside in the batter's box rather than him trying to nibble. Seems like he's having a little bit of trouble locating overall.
That one ripped for a base hit. One run's going to come in. That's Hardigan picking that one up, and it's going to bounce off of him. Another run's going to come in for the Braves. And just like that, the lead has switched around as the Hawks now trail 2-1 here in the top of the 8th.
RBI single from Wimmer. 2 runs do come home to score, but the error on Hardigan brings in the second one, and that looks like Noah Hall's day will be done.
So we're going to have a pitching change here in the top of the 8th. We're going to take a break on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Back here for the remainder of the top of the 8th inning. One away here as the Harbor Hawks now trail 2-1 against the Bourne Braves. But before we get back to action, now a word from our other sponsor, Milton Cat. For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit miltoncat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game. New pitcher on the mound now as Angus McCloskey gets ready to deal to the Braves, try to get us out of this 8th inning of play. Count at 1-0 now as Caden Wallace is at the plate. Wallace 1 for 3, fly out, strikeout, and a single to his name. He's reached third after that single, as that one misses inside for ball 2 now. Should be ball 2. time is called as that infield is now in for the Harbor Hawks.
Yeah, if you can keep it within 1, it's a very attainable score to try to tie, just being down. I mean, they swung the bats well as a unit tonight, have the Harbor Hawks. They've got some guys on. The pitching's been better.
The 1-0 comes in. That's down low, spiked in the dirt. Good stop from Proto behind the plate. Count now at 2-0. I think the confusion with the 1-0 count early in this at-bat was actually due to Wimmer, who had a 1-0 count whenever he got that single, that RBI single. Once again, infield is in. Luke Mann seems to be the furthest away from the grass. Meanwhile, Ball, Romano, and Harris all towing the grass. As that pitch misses, ball 3. Struggles late in this inning for the Harbor Hawks.
Nicky has the green light, 3-0.
I'd say no. Let him throw. I'd say let him throw a strike first before you try to swing.
I always, think it's the location thing. I mean, sometimes you might have a guy hold off, but if you can get one in a spot you're looking, then why not take a rip at it? He does.
The 3-0, he takes a green light as he fouls that one off. 3-1 now.
Yeah, it's not going to be a green light on everything, but if you're looking at a spot like he seemed to be there, that pitch came in across the belt, why not take a cut at it? Something you think you can drive? I mean, Yerman Mercedes had the green light all year on 3-0 for the White Sox. Yeah.
Count now at 3-1. The mist and fog starting to roll in now as the pitch comes in. A liner out towards left field. That's going to be Hardigan ranging back, and that's going to get over him as that one hops the wall. 2 runs are going to come in. Wallace rounding second, and he's going to stop with a 2 RBI double as the Braves now extend their lead to 4-1 here in the top of the 8th.
Good piece of hitting there by Wallace as he just got that one on the inside part of the plate, turned on it, and drove it.
What started out as a good 8th inning for the Harbor Hawks, that is, a drop third strike from Noah Hall for the first out. Since then, the next 5 hitters have all reached base, and 4 of those have come in.
And there's zeros next to Bourne's name on the scoreboard all the way from inning number 1 to inning number 7. It's 4 runs here in the 8th.
Meanwhile, the Hawks with 1 run in the first, and since then, all zeros along their line have 2 more at-bats coming up. Need 4 runs in those last 2 at-bats. The 1-0 pop up towards shallow left field. I think Ball had a hard time seeing that one off the bat as that one ends up being brought in by Rose for out number 2. Meanwhile, Wallace remains at second. He didn't even think about extending over to third. That one not near far enough out in center field for him to advance.
Good out number 2, and now you are 1 out away from stopping the bleeding. Give your bats a chance. They have 6 outs to work with. Try to dig themselves out of this deficit.
Now with 2 away, Nick Goodwin at the plate. That first pitch misses low. Goodwin 0 for 3, pair of groundouts and a strikeout. Groundouts have both been up the middle, 1 to second, 1 to short. The 1-0 pitch comes in, that's ripped. A diving stop from Ball, the throw over the first from his knees. Dig can't be made from Harris. Another run's going to come in for the Braves. 5-1 now the Braves lead here in the 8th. Almost a stupendous play from Ball over at short. And they're going to count that one as a hit. So with the runner on first now, Joshua Moylan stands now on the plate. 1 for 3 on the night. He's the only hitter so far that has not seen the plate in this 8th inning.
Tough inning for Hyannis. Unfortunately, the walks early on did not help from Hall. And a couple of hits against McCloskey have come back to hurt them.
Throw over from McCloskey is not in time. Harris put the tag on him, but he couldn't be made in that time as that was Goodwin getting back into first safely. Runner goes from first. The throw from Proto. Strong throw to second. That gets past the glove of Ball. Goodwin now extending over to third. The strong throw from Rose can't be made as that one gets past the glove of Mann. Luckily, McCloskey is there to back that up as the runner is left at third.
It's not a bad throw by Proto. I mean, it was an off-speed pitch that he was stealing on, so he had to gun it as fast as he could. Unfortunately, it couldn't be picked as just took a bad hop on Ball. So they have a runner 90 feet away.
Yeah, and I think that if that ball would have been caught by Ball, I think that actually would have come in plenty of time to make the out. It was a very
I would
strong
agree.
throw.
It's a tough one to pick, but
the 1-1 now misses. Count 2 balls and 1 strike now to Moylan. Tanner Schobel back on deck after starting off this 8th inning. Count at 2-1. Pitch comes in. That one's a pop-up straight up as that's going to be called on by Ball. He'll make the grab for out number 3. That ends the 8th inning, but up for the Braves tack on 5 runs, leading 5-1 here as we head to the bottom of the 8th on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. We're back for the bottom of the 8th as that pitch now to Clark Elliott is hit up the middle for a base hit. Elliott reaches base for the 3rd time tonight, now 2 for 3 on the night.
not before a plethora of defensive changes for the Bourne Braves. Lampy came in for Scoble, who was the shortstop. So Lampy goes to center, pushes Colby Thomas to left, which moves Wimmer to second base, which pushes Knapcheck to short. I think that's all of them, maybe? I don't know. That's at least 4 of them.
Yeah, that's all we were told. So if there are more, those are to be announced.
Good swing by Elliott, though, to lead off the inning.
Starting the inning off at the right way as that one's ripped down the third base line. Foul.
Kyle Balls, 4 at-bats, 4 first pitches swung at. He's trying to be aggressive tonight.
Yeah, love the aggression that we've seen from him at the plate. He's had 3 flyouts, 2 to the outfield and center and left, and then 1 to second base. Count now at 0-1. Chidoba back on the rubber as he misses that one outside. 1-1 now the count. Ball and Harris, the last 2 due up before Romano, who now sits in the hole with Romano first. It's looking like he'll come up to bat here. Count at 1-1. This one is a called strike, bringing the count to 1-2. That one just missing, just finding the outside corner, that is. Harbor Hawks trailing 5-1 now after a 5-run inning for the Braves just a few moments ago. Hawks started out with a 1-0 lead after that strong first inning, but since then have had zeros up until that 8th. This one hit over to first, throw to second for one, over back to first is in time. Could be an interference call as Trudeau was in the line, and ball ended up colliding with him.
Yeah, they would have had him anyway. There's no argument for either coach, and the manager Calhoun's right at first, and he didn't say anything. So
yeah,
double play.
So it's going to go down.
Little 3-6-3 double play.
One of the probably the one that you see the least of all.
It's rare that the first baseman will get the ball, throw it a second, get back, and cover the bag.
Yeah.
That's your best shot at, because Kyle Ball runs well down the line. So by the time the pitcher, Chidoba, would get over to cover, probably don't have him, but good play, heads-up play by Moylan.
So now the threat has ended here as Elliott and Ball both go down. Zane Harris at the plate now with 2 away as he chops that one weakly down the third base line. That's going to be picked up by Anderson. Throw to first is just in time. The stretch from Moylan ends the 8th. No runs, no hits, no errors as the Braves still lead 5-1 after 8. But before we go to break, we're going to toss it down to our sideline reporter Taylor Farmer, who caught up with Jonah Scalero.
For Jonas Scalero. Incredible job by him with 7 strikeouts, the longest outing that Coach Calhoun has let one of his pitchers go. These pitchers do have pitch counts that they cannot exceed, but obviously Scalero has not met his yet, and it's hard to take a pitcher with a hot arm out early. Not new to striking batters out, Scalero holds record at Durant High School with career 306 strikeouts. An incredible outing by him earlier in this ballgame.
Thank you so much, Taylor. And we're going to be right back for the 9th inning of play here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Ninth inning of play coming up. The Braves now leading 5-1 after a strong 8th inning from their bats. Angus McCloskey back up to finish it off as the count now moves to 0-1. This one to Lampy. As Joe Lampy, who just came in back in the 8th for Schobel. He now has an 0-2 count. The mist has rolled in to McKeon Park. Some foggy conditions here. Everything's still visible. Not as bad as it was a few days ago.
Caused the game to be canceled early against Orleans due to how bad the fog was.
Which stopped a late rally from the Harbor Hawks as that one's lined down the third base line. That's going to drop just foul. We'll stay at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Chidoba's been great out of the bullpen for the Braves. He just completed his 3rd inning of work. 2 hits, no runs, walks, 1 strikeout. His stuff may not have been electric, but it was effective.
The 1-2, that one's fouled. So that will keep the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Like you said, Chidoba's outing, not the most effective one that we've seen tonight, but like you said, it was effective. He got the job done. Very efficient pitching from him. The 1-2, that one
Ooh,
Check swing. No, he did not go, says third base umpire Jeff Kinney.
close call. Enticing pitch from McCloskey.
McCloskey at 6'2", 205 pounds from Pace University. So he's ready with the tiebreaker. Misses up and in. 3 balls and 2 strikes now. A little bit of confusion on the scoreboard there as count finally correct. Pitch comes in. That one is fouled as that's going to be near the Harbor Hawks bullpen. Out of play.
Man,
We'll
you
keep
just
that
outed
3-2.
poor George down the end.
I mean, I just said it was a little bit of confusion, you know. Everybody gets confused every once in a while. You know, I'm not.
The field scoreboard, we should say.
Yeah, the field scoreboard. Yeah. Yeah, just a quick little count change. You know, no harm, no foul. Now, if the scoreboard would have just completely shut down, then we might have had.
Might be on you, George, down there.
Yeah.
Oh.
3-2 is a called strike 3. A little bit of a late call from Chris Barstow, but strike 3 nonetheless. And Joe Lampe is not happy about that call. He has some words to say, but he walks back to the Braves dugout, and there's one away.
I wonder, there's not as many scouts here at this point in the year, so maybe you'll see things get a little more chippy with umpires.
Yeah, maybe
in terms
a little
of
bit.
Players, talking back to the umpires. You didn't see it a lot, especially when the scouts were here. I think as guys, didn't want to be that guy, to be the player who always is complaining.
Yeah,
but
less people to impress now that the draft is over.
Still a lot of eyes on you. Still a handful of scouts, but you're not seeing 20 to 25. You're seeing more 5 to 10 scouts tonight.
Yeah, and I'm sure that it's easier for the pitchers now that they don't have 20 to 25 speed guns all
I
pointed
can't
at 'em.
imagine that. I mean, you're on the hill. You're in a tough situation, and you look behind the catcher, and there's 20 arms, staring right at you, and speed guns trying to get your velocity.
Yeah, now
which could determine your future.
Now, I did actually talk to some of the relievers out of the Harbor Hawks bullpen, and they all mentioned it was really the same answer all across the board. They didn't really notice the speed guns. Like they've all
locked in.
Yeah, they've all been very focused at the plate. Other than that, they've been at showcases pretty much all their lives, so they're used to speed guns behind the plate. So it doesn't really faze them anymore. The 0-2, a fly ball out to left field, picked up by Hardigan for out number 2. He had to come in quite a ways to make that grab, but it's 2 away now in the 9th for Max Anderson. Knapcheck goes down with that F7 for those of y'all keeping score in your scorebooks.
Good job by McCloskey, inducing some weak contact. See what the Braves do in this 5-1 game for the last inning of work.
Now pitch coming in from McCloskey. That's a called strike. Anderson sitting at 1 for 4. Has 2 strikeouts, a single, and back in the 6th. Was out by way of the infield fly. The 0-1, a breaking ball, barely nicked by Anderson.
69 miles per hour, the slowest pitch I think we've seen tonight.
A nice pitch. Very nice pitch.
It was a slow breaking ball. That might have been the best pitch McCloskey's thrown. It was so slow moving that you got him on his front foot.
The 0-2 chopped over towards short, made by Ball on the run. Throw to first on the run is in time. A fantastic play from Ball to end the top of the 9th. We head to the bottom. Last chance for the Harbor Hawks. Down 4 on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Bottom half of the 9th inning, Ryan Romano set to start us off here. Romano is going to be followed by Luke Mann and Ryan Proto.
See if they can put together a little rally here.
Rally very much needed. Harbor Hawks currently down 4 here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Fog's really pouring in too, Lincoln.
Yeah, the fog's starting to get thick as this ball lined out into center field. That's going to be Lampy settling under it for out number 1 here. 1 pitch, 1 out. Ryan Romano goes down with an F8.
It's a good swing by Romano, just, hit right at somebody, unfortunately. Lincoln, let's take a look at what's ahead for the Harbor Hawks after tonight's game. Harbor Hawks back in action tomorrow at Bourne for a 6 p.m. first pitch. Friday, Saturday, both home games, 6 p.m. on both those, as Harwich comes to town Friday, Chatham on Saturday, and then Sunday away at Falmouth, also a 6 p.m. first pitch.
Our second time traveling to Falmouth, where very interesting field where we had our last win. That one flown out into left field. That's going to be Thomas settling under it. For out number 2, that was Luke Mann going down with an F7.
Down to their final low, but they're swinging the bat, which is, if you're going to go down swinging.
Yeah, definitely. Still being aggressive at the plate, trying to get that rally, but running out of time for that one as they're down to their final out, as you mentioned. And that's going to bring Ryan Proto to the plate now. First pitch coming in to Proto is a called strike. Count now to 0-1. Proto at 1 for 3 on the night so far. Fly out, line out, and a single to his name. The 0-1 is chopped down the first base line, barely fair, and then it rolls foul. Brings the count now to 0-2 with 2 away. Now again, tomorrow our first time at Bourne since opening night. We were supposed to actually be at Bourne last week whenever the tropical storm came in. That game ended up getting canceled around noon.
Doran Park flooded pretty bad, I think, after that.
Yeah, Doran Park pretty much a bowl as all water just flows down into the field. The 0-2 misses, brings the count now to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dylan Post hoping for another at-bat on deck right now. His pitch comes in. Called strike 3 on the 1-2, and that will end the game. Harbor Hawks go down in order in the 9th as they fall 5-1 to the Bourne Braves. And what started out as a very strong start for the Harbor Hawks ends in disappointment after a 5-run inning for the Braves.
Yeah, Jonas Scalero was terrific. Hats off to him. He went 5 dominant innings, but unfortunately that 5-run inning was too much for the Harbor Hawks to overcome.
And once again, we'll be back tomorrow night. That'll be an audio-only broadcast as we're heading to Doran Park in Bourne for another battle against the Braves, the final game of that 3-game series with the Braves. But for now, that's going to do it for us here from Judy Walton Scarafile Field. For our director of broadcast, Harrison Meyers, our producer, Matt Noah, our sideline reporter, Taylor Farmer, and my broadcast partner, Austin DeCouta, I'm Lincoln Revill saying so long, good night, and God bless.